How's it going everyone, it's Vivi and welcome to another Crash Bandicoot video. This time, I'd like to talk about Tawna and the Nitro Squad. Well, technically Tawna falls within the Nitro Squad group, but Tawna and the Nitro Squad has a nice ring to it. So as for Tawna, or Tawna Bandicoot mentioned in Crash Nitro-Fueled, well, she was the first female character introduced to Crash Bandicoot. Originally, you probably didn't know about this one. She was known as Carmen. Going off the Crash Bible, one of the two original artists, Joe Pearson, had an initial pitch for a developer's Bible, or call it artbook/history, of the series. While stuff like that, when it comes to Crash, we had Project Wombat, the most updated version being the Files, Crash Bandicoot Files by Dark Horse. Going off the oldest of the bunch, this scan right here, thanks to user HP Zoner, while she was indeed known as Carmen, and potential love interest for Cortex. However, that was an early idea which was scrapped. Cortex basically hated humanity, so he saw Tawna as, you know, someone special, someone different. For the first time in years, Cortex found himself drawn to a female. The fact that Carmen is not human is even better, for Cortex has been at war with humanity for his entire life. Carmen's disinterest in her creator and growing affection for Willy, originally known as Crash, have now deterred the diminutive Genius 1-bit. Neo-Cortex is confident that once Willy is eliminated, Carmen will see Neo as the soulmate he knows he is. To this end, he has redoubled his efforts to eliminate the pesky male wombat. In an odd way, we feel for n-Cortex and his frustrations. We almost pity him when Willy and the henchmen ruin his brilliant plans. If you notice on the right-hand corner, Cortex not concerned about love, just world domination. Basically, this was asked for correction. Cortex's ultimate goal was total world domination. In updated versions of the Bible, aka Crash Bandicoot Files, there is no mention of love interest whatsoever. The name Tawna happened in Willy Wombat, a Bible which released to the public back in 1995. Tawna was based off Pamela Anderson at the time, and even Jessica Rabbit. So yeah, she's the very first female character introduced to Crash Bandicoot. That was Crash 1, technically. We'd like to believe she was one of Cortex's failed experiments. In the n-sane trilogy, we clearly see Tawna fend off one of the lab assistants, showing her more defensive side, like she's capable of defending herself. In the original, she just stood there like there's no way to escape. In the n-sane trilogy, it makes clearer that Tawna went through the Evolve Array first. We do hear her as if she can already speak. We can't help but wonder, were all creatures in the Crash universe put under Cortex and Brio's experiments? How do we explain everyone being anthropomorphic in quality? We can believe that perhaps some were already born humanish. But hey, for now, any character that had ties to Cortex were all failed experiments. Tawna in the original is found at the end of her bonus rounds, basically used as bait to lure Crash away and put him in harm's way, out of Cortex's way. Now in the n-sane trilogy version, we see Tawna always being taken away by Cortex, making it clearer that this is in fact bait. That's basically a big reason why Crash is undoing Cortex's plan in the original game, to save Tawna, of course. After Crash takes care of Cortex, we get an ending with Tawna and him on the blimp, heading towards a sunset. By collecting all gray or clear gems in Crash 1, the original at least, you get to save Tawna again, waiting at the balcony. Now a while back, there was a bug in the n-sane version. Apparently people accessed this alternate ending, the Great Hall giving them access to Tawna without getting all clear gems. The way this glitch worked, well basically, your total gems counted as you collecting clear gems plus colored ones. The game was counting the total gems, including colored ones. Did this get patched? I honestly don't have any idea. Was this fixed? I'm asking the question to you guys. With that said, which one is the true ending? From a logical point of view, the true ending is the scene with the blimp. Cortex's castle lit on fire, Cortex falls in a cave and paves the way for Crash 2. The other one, the alternate one, which I like to call it, is something in Crash's head. When they leave, the castle is intact. Crash is imagining not saving the world, no hassle, just finding Tawna, all in attraction mode. As you can see in the balcony, Crash does fall asleep a lot. I imagine he's a dreamer. This scene, the alternate scene, could be a dream. What do you think of this small theory? Now, have you ever wondered why suddenly Brio was against Cortex in the sequel? Well, Tawna could have played a role in that. In Project Wombat, there's a section with Tawna. As for this part, it was actually taken out of the updated version called Crash Bandicoot Files. Let me read the second paragraph. More than a simple damsel in distress, Tawna spends her time matching wits with N-Cortex, attempting to reason with N-Brio, and fomenting revolution among Cortex's henchmen. Tawna is a force to be reckoned with. This is interesting. She tried reasoning with Brio. Now I understand this part was taken out of the files completely. Some people might say, hey, if something is not part of an art book anymore, it's not canon. But hey, it's still fun to go back to old lore. Looking at this fan art by Hudson Hatley, this is something I've stumbled upon a lot, so I thought of featuring it in the video. The link to the Twitter account will be in the description below. And I thank the user for allowing me to share this in the video. This is how I imagine part of their conversation. Tawna, according to the artist, you don't have to follow Cortex, Dr. Brio. He's just using you. Brio, but he's all I have. I absolutely want to dive deeper into the lore of n-Brio, but not in this video, alright? Stay tuned. So after Crash 1, we get the sequel, Crash 2 Cortex Strikes Back, and poof! No sign of Tawna. So we wondered, what the heck happened to her? From a lore perspective, at least exclusively in Japan, she basically dumps Crash for Pinstripe. This is according to the Japanese version of Crash 2's manual. The Wiki's translation explains that her and Crash broke up. She moves on with Pinstripe. And she also gets referenced in Volume 1 of the manga. Crash Bandicoot only had 2 published mangas, by the way, by Koro Koro Comic, back in 1998. Drawn by Ari Karashima. Dansu de Jump na Daibunken. Dance then Jump, It's a Great Adventure, translated to English. I managed to find the exact reference scene to Tawna over on Crash Mania. Thank you Fear the Bandit for the scans, and the translation, thank you to Snow Lady Forever. Crash basically gets up, he wakes up, and he sees a letter left in his room. To Crash, I am a wonderful adult woman. So I decided to go to Mr. Pinstripe's place, Tawna. Looking at Crash, he gets all upset and all that. But hey, this type of stuff is only canon in Japan. This type of stuff wasn't ever confirmed by Naughty Dog. So whatever you read online, oh, Tawna moved to Pinstripe confirmed, well, that just happened in Japan. But hey, it was very cool, to point it out at least. Other than that, she made a couple of very minor appearances, coupled with one game where she was actually playable, Crash Boom Bang on Nintendo DS, a game released back in 2006. There's a picture of her on the fireplace in Warped, in Crash's house, in Twinsanity. There's a picture of her. Speaking of Twinsanity, there's a deleted scene, which seems to imply that Dingodile was dating Tawna. They were having this special dinner. This clip was uploaded by fake Nina, aka Paul Gardner, who originally did work on Twinsanity. Mind Over Mutant, also a poster in Crash's home. Apart from minor appearances later in the series, what really was the reason of her absence from a developer's point of view? Basically censorship. There's 2 stories surrounding what happened to Tawna. One version is by Charles Zembillas, one of the original artists for Crash Bandicoot, and the other by co-founder of Naughty Dog, Jason Rubin. As for the first part, Coco was created as a counterbalance to Tawna, who was Bandicoot's girlfriend. She came along because Naughty Dog was sensitive to Sony Japan and wanted to please them. Sony Japan didn't feel comfortable with the super sexy character with Crash, so Naughty Dog went with a sister character instead to appease them. As a response to censored gaming, who linked back to Zembillas' response regarding Tawna, this is what Jason Rubin had to say. Sony did not have an issue with Tawna. Universal caused us to modify her design, and we didn't like the end result. Naughty Dog decision. So ultimately this decision was made by Naughty Dog. As for other things, we have Crash Nitro-Fueled. Tawna brought back with full force, with actual dialogue this time. When I heard her speak for the first time, I was like, wow, Beanox, you really did it. I absolutely adore the quote she says during this scene. Let me play it.
This time, no one will catch me. This time, no one will catch me.
And then we have the trophy girls. Let's go. There was huge, very big demand for them. And Beanox has delivered beautifully. Am I wrong to say that the Nitro Squad is the most beloved added feature to Nitro-Fueled? Or at least very popular fan favorites in the community? Am I right, or am I wrong? Going back to CTR TV, the first coverage by Chicken Stew for the very first Grand Prix, well, I absolutely adore the different personalities and nationalities given to these characters. Ami to me sounds American. The same goes for the newly updated Tawna.
Can't wait for the green light.
This time, no one will catch me.
Liz is more on the British side.
Now I'll make every front page.
Megumi on the Japanese side, and Isabella, mostly Italian to me.
I've been waiting for this.
Yeah, it's my battle horse.
Fun fact, these trophy girls' names were actual names of people involved with the development of the original Crash Team Racing. Ami was named after Ami Matsumura Blair, project manager at Sony Computer Entertainment America, now known as Sony Interactive Entertainment. Some believe her dialogue during the credit scenes from the original gave rise to the popular demand of her being featured as a racer. With that, Beanox perhaps thought it'd be a very cool idea to feature the whole gang as racers, but with no longer handing out trophies. Ami, looking at her animation, she's very tomboyish, flexing her muscles all the time, the toughest girl among them. As for her losing animation, she gives off a very not fair vibe. Pretty mellow, if you ask me. Isabella was named after Isabel Tomatis, the product manager at SCEA, short for Sony Computer Entertainment America. Her winning animation, she's very gentle, very soft looking character, but she is the worst when it comes to losing. I mean, look at her, she's literally screaming. Megumi, named after Megumi Hosoba, who was the product manager and marketing manager at Sony. Megumi is the sweet girl, just loving to race. She has no intent on becoming #1. She's always charming. She has this sense of excitement. I mean, look at her. She's clapping for the one who's in first place. Megumi is my favorite. There you go. Liz, named after Elizabeth Liz Ashford, who was the PR manager at Sony. Her winning animation gives off a very, oh please you're making me blush, with low-key, ha, I knew I'd win this race, piece of cake. Her losing animation, she doesn't care. Not in the sense of losing, more of fame being brought upon the winner. I don't care. Also, this to me looks like that moment when your parents compare you to their other kids. Like, yeah, whatever, clap, 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 good for you. The Nitro Squad certainly got a little layer of their personality being sparked in CTR Nitro-Fueled. Beanox really took it upon themselves to do justice with these characters. Yes, they don't have much dialogue, yes, we don't really have cutscenes, long cutscenes with these characters, but they do show off a lot of potential. Look at the original, and now, we went from googly-boggly eyes to this, absolutely great looking, and with that, something I've always said in the past, the Nitro Squad could at least make a cameo in a future game. Be it Tawna being a yoga instructor, with all these girls as her students or whatnot, or the other way around, maybe Ami being the teacher. I don't know, imagine a cutscene where Crash suddenly barges in during their yoga session. You know, a funny scene. It could be anything. I wouldn't expect any of these characters to be playable. The most I'm expecting is a cutscene. Like, one of them interacting with Crash. Some might start even matching their personalities with certain hobbies. Megumi looking like the type of girl who would study in the field of science, looking at her outfit. Liz looks like she could ride a motorcycle, you know, that sort of stuff. And yeah, they were also featured in the manga, Volume 1, while Crash was daydreaming. That's them, alright. So, yeah guys, I think I've said plenty for the video. So tell me what you think in the comments section below. Do you like the Nitro Squad? Do you feel like they have potential to be expanded upon in future games? What do you think? And as always, I've been Vivi and thank you so much for watching.